Speaker, I rise with your leave to move for the seconding of the second reading of the bill, shortly entitled the Data Protection Bill 2018. My input in support of this bill will be relatively short because I think that the honorable mover of the bill would have done a very good job in succinctly putting forward its basic objectives and principles. It is by no accident, in my opinion, that today's debate on the Data Protection Bill is happening in the same sitting in which we would have passed the Freedom of Information Act just yesterday. The same logic would have been employed when it comes to the fact that in September of 2015, both of the bills, the Freedom of Information Bill and the Data Protection Bill, would have also had a first reading because they are not mutually exclusive, but rather interrelated. We also recognize that the bill, whereas one bill would have addressed the public's right to access information from public bodies, the other one is focusing primarily on individuals' rights to privacy insofar as their information, their personal information, is concerned. I find it interesting as well that this bill is coming up for debate at a time when the world's attention had been riveted in recent times on the global scandals surrounding breaches in data protection, where social media houses, political strategy teams, and political parties that hire them are now being exposed for the considerable interference and influence that they would have had over elections and referendum results in places such as the UK, including Brexit, other parts of Europe such as Italy, the USA, Africa, and also the Caribbean. Even our tiny St. Kitts and Nevis has been indelibly daubed with the brush of such corruption, invasion of privacy, character assassination, the sale of illegally harvested psychometric data by the use of such applications as trolling mechanisms, some of which the mover of the bill would have alluded to in his remarks, and other ills that have been unleashed by notorious agencies such as Cambridge Analytica, Strategic Communications Laboratories, SCL, and even Facebook, who was recently forced to admit its culpability in sharing the data of some 87 million users with unauthorized third parties during the 2016 presidential campaign in the United States. The sheer magnitude of these data breaches and electoral manipulations make whistleblowing practices by persons such as WikiLeaks' Australian editor Julian Assange now appear to be like child's play. In contrast to the Freedom of Information Bill, Madam Deputy Speaker, this Data Protection Bill is meant to address the rules of access to information about people. As such, the bill sets out in its 8 parts and 44 sections how an individual's personal information should be used by government agencies, the private sector, healthcare and financial institutions, and organizations in general who may hold or harvest such information. These data protection principles are clearly laid out in Part 2 of the bill, Sections 7 to 13, which, as I indicated earlier, would have been comprehensively articulated by the honorable mover of the bill. However, it is worth emphasizing that such data, 1, must be used legally and fairly, 2, must not be held for longer than is necessary, 3, must be kept safe and secure, and 4, must only be used for the specific purpose for which it was intended. Madam Deputy Speaker, an individual's personal data cannot be used as part of a fishing expedition just for the sake of having access to someone's personal information, which is not the business of anyone else. Such personal information includes data on someone's finances, healthcare status, income tax status, and social security and biometric matters. Data on a person's domestic life, on their telecommunications and internet access and patterns are also worthy of protection within certain limits from invasion of privacy by individuals and agencies whose motives may be driven by profit, ill intent, character assassination, identity theft, and other similarly bad intentions. As with the Freedom of Information Bill, the Data Protection Bill calls for a complaints procedure, where requests for personal data are denied by the relevant authority. As such, the bill addresses conditions under which requests for personal information would be denied. It is important to note that the decision to add data protection legislation by this government should be seen as another demonstrative indicator of our commitment to the people of this country regarding our sustainable development initiatives that should be benchmarked against international best practices in order to improve the lot and the lives of our people. As such, the legislation is also intended to assist us, for example, in the provision of a safe technological infrastructure to improve the way in which we do business, thereby facilitating e-commerce even further. Also, by the increasing use of technology to improve our lives in areas such as medicine, education, civil engineering, certain social services, cultural, urban, and rural development, and also in the further development of our national ICT platform, as indicated by the mover of the bill, so that we can facilitate the growth of entrepreneurship in knowledge, communications, and technology-based sectors, which are all areas that more and more of our young people are eager to invest and pursue career opportunities in. As with all other legislation, we expect that over time there will be amendments to and review to our data protection legislation in order to keep pace with local, regional, and international trends in the discipline and practice of protecting individual privacy rights. As such, one can also expect that matters such as privacy rights and data protection would demand legislative cover for such things as e-commerce transaction protections from spam and phishing regarding email marketing content, and the inappropriate use or sale of mailing and even customer lists to advertisers, marketers, and their agents for profit. I am confident, Madam Deputy Speaker, that when the time for such revision comes, it will be done in the spirit of consultation that maintains and protects privacy provisions for all our citizens regarding their personal information. Passage of the bill, therefore, in my opinion, will put us well on our way to achieving our goal of protecting personal data, and as such, I wholeheartedly commend this bill for safe passage. May it please you, Madam Speaker.
Stay up to date with news, programs, and activities of the government with SKNIS. Like us on Facebook. Listen to us on SoundCloud. Follow us on Twitter. And watch our videos on YouTube. Connect with us today. SKNIS, St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service.